and she had known him all through her teens, worshipping his son in the way that teenage girls are wont to do. She had never dreamed Chris might actually notice her as anything other than the daughter of one of his father's oldest friends. The year he came down from university, when she herself was just finishing her A-levels, he had come home. They had met at the tennis club. Sophie had just been finishing a match. Tennis was one of the few things she excelled at. She had the body and the strength for it, and, she realised with wry hindsight, he could hardly have seen her in a more flattering setting. He had asked her out. She had been overwhelmed with excitement, and so it had started. Her mouth twisted bitterly. It was not how it had started that she was thinking of now, but how it had finished. It hadn't taken her long to fall in love. She was literally starving for attention, for someone of her own, and she had been all too ridiculously easy a conquest for him. Of course she had demurred when he told her he wanted to make love to her, but she had also been thrilled that he could want her so much. Seeing no beauty or desirability in her own appearance, she could not understand how anyone else could either. She had thought he loved her. She had wanted to believe it. She had thought he intended to marry her. God, how ridiculous and farcical it all seemed now. Inevitably, she had let him make love to her. One hot summer night at the end of August when they were alone in his parents' house. And that night had shattered her rosy dreams completely. Even now she could remember his acid words of invective when he realised that she was not enjoying his lovemaking. His criticisms of her as a woman, his disgust in her inability to respond to him. Frightened by the change in him, her body still torn by the pain of his possession, she had sought to placate him, offering uncertainly, "But it will get better when we are married." Married? He had withdrawn completely from her, staring at her with narrowed eyes. What the hell are you talking about? I wouldn't marry you if you were the last woman on earth, darling, he had drawled tauntingly. When I get married, it will be to a woman who knows what it means to be a woman, not a frigid little girl. You'll never get married, Sophie, he had told her cruelly. No man will ever want to marry a woman like you. Looking back, she was lucky to have come out of the escapade with nothing worse than a badly bruised body and ego, Sophie told herself. It could have been so much worse. She could have been pregnant and unmarried. Darling, you aren't listening to a word I'm saying, her mother complained a little petulantly. And why do you scrape your hair back like that? It's so pretty. It's also heavy, Mother, and today it's very hot. She said it patiently, forcing a placatory smile. I wish you'd have it properly styled, darling, and get some new clothes. Those awful jeans you're wearing. Sighing faintly, Sophie put down her book. If only her mother could understand that she could not be what she wanted her to be. If only. I've told Brenda to bring Chris and his wife round to see us. She's a lovely girl, Brenda was saying. An American. They got married last year while we were away on that cruise. She looked across at her daughter. It's time you were thinking of settling down, darling. After all, you are 26. So she was, and wouldn't Chris just crow to know that his cruel prediction all those years ago had proved so correct? Not that she wanted to get married. She moved restlessly in her deck chair, unwanted images flashing through her mind, pictures of the men she had dated over the years, and the look on their faces when she turned cold and unresponsive in their arms. She had never totally been able to overcome the fears Chris had instilled in her, not of the physical reality of male possession, but of her own inability to respond to him, her own innate sexual coldness. Well, it was something no other man was ever going to find out about her. It was her own private burden, and she was going to carry it alone. No male possession meant no children, though. Sighing once again, she opened her eyes and stared unseeingly at her father's neat flower border. Just when she had first felt this fierce need to have children of her own, she wasn't quite sure, but lately she was rarely unaware of it. She very much wanted children.